Good morning, everybody. Welcome for our lesson today. We are going to look at tourism. I think this is our new topic. Last time we were looking at the population distribution. We talked about the reason for high number of increase of population. We compared the population structure of Germany, India, and Kenya, and so on. So today we want to look at tourism. So we shall define what is tourism, then we shall look more details on that. So tourism, so let me start with the let me talk it with wildlife and tourism. So wildlife are insects, plants, and animals, birds in natural surrounding. So wildlife are insects, plants, animals, and birds found in their natural environment or surrounding. For example, when you talk about wildlife, then we are looking at the insects. Talk about the animals like lion. They are found in the savannah. No one has placed these animals in those areas, but they are just found there naturally. That's what you call the wildlife. They are found in natural environment. So that's what you call wildlife. Then let us also look at the types of so in wildlife, so you will find that wildlife are kept in what we call the game parks, and then we have game parks and reserves. So the government have set aside areas where wildlife are protected. These areas are called game park and game reserves. And when you talk about the game parks, then we are looking at areas where the government has established the animals are well protected. No one is allowed to go and graze the animals there or look for firewood in those areas. So those are what we call the game parks. A very good example is Nairobi National Park. Nairobi is just found within the city of Nairobi. That is one of the oldest national park in Kenya, and is also the only national park found in the city. That's across the world. That's what they're talking about. Then we have another parks like Tsavo National Park. We have Tsavo West and Tsavo East. That is found when you are heading to Kwale County and the southern part of the country. Then we have also what we call Marsabit National Park. Then we have also Sibeloi, just on the eastern part of Lake Turkana. You will find that those are some of the national parks. Then game reserves, game parks first, they are managed by KWS. KWS means Kenya Wildlife Service. So they are the one that protect these animals, and also they manage those animals well to ensure that animals are well protected. Then we have game reserves. Game reserves are areas which have been established by the government to protect wildlife, but people are allowed to graze the animals here. They are also allowed to look for firewood. For example, talk about Masai Mara National Reserve. It's one of the largest reserves in across the world. That's Masai Mara. And when you go to Masai Mara, you will find very many animals like migration of the wild beast. So we have wild beast is known for that, for migrating from one place to another. So they migrate from Masai Mara National Reserve, and then they cross River Mara, heading to where? To Serengeti National Park. Serengeti National Park, Serengeti is found in Tanzania. So every year there is migration of millions of wild beasts from Masai Mara, and even the zebra. They migrate crossing River Mara and then heading to Serengeti National Park in Tanzania. So reserves, I think I have defined, reserves are managed by the county government. So they are the one that manage those reserves. A very good example is Masai Mara National Reserve. So that it is. Now, if we may come up that now, example of wildlife, we have said that wildlife is made up of animals like lion, leopard, and then buffalo, and so on. So we have also the animals we call the big five, the big five animals. The big five, we have the lion, then we have buffaloes, then we have leopard, leopard is here. We have elephant, then we have the king of the jungle, that is lion. So these are called the big five animals in the park. So you'll find them in the reserves and even in the national parks. So they are there, and they are highly protected, because if you are found killing the wildlife, then at the end of the day you will be taken to the court and then you will be charged, because it's against the law. Wildlife is very important to the economy of any country across the world. When you talk about Kenya, Eastern Africa, and even Africa, they are a source of what we call the foreign exchange. Foreign exchange. It's approximated that tourism only gives the government, from wildlife, it gives the government around 70 billion per year. So you can see. So that's why wildlife are highly protected. No one should kill them. That's why we need to protect wildlife every time. So remember that. And then we want to look at example of national parks in Kenya and national reserves. So national parks in Kenya, we have Tsavo. These are national parks. We have Tsavo. Tsavo is found in the west, in the southern part of the country, Tsavo. And then we have another one called Amboseli. Tsavo we have west and east, west and east. So they are here. Then we have what we call Amboseli. Amboseli is a national park. Then we have also Nairobi. Nairobi is also a national park. And then we have Sibiloi. Sibiloi. Then we have what we call Aberdare. Aberdare Range. Aberdare Range, around Aberdare Range mountain. So you'll find that we have very many animals preserved by the government there. Then we have Nakuru and Marsabit. Nakuru and Marsabit. Marsabit. Then we have Watamu, and we have also what we call Malindi. So Malindi, these are called marine parks. So Watamu and Malindi are marine parks. What do you mean by marine? When you talk about marine parks, then you are looking at we're talking about wild animals that live in water. So when you go to Watamu, it's around Malindi, Mombasa, you will find that we have crocodiles living there and any other animals that stay in water. So those are what we call the marine parks. You will find them. And then also, these are some of the national parks in Kenya. The largest national park is this one, Tsavo. It's the national park. Then we have also said that this is the oldest national park is here. It's called Nairobi. Then this is the largest, like that. So these are a major game park in Kenya. And we have said the game park are managed by the KWS, Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS. And we have also said in the game park, no one is allowed to go there to graze the animals. No one is allowed there to go to look for firewood in those areas. Only tourists are allowed to move in those areas. Then we have game reserves, reserves or national reserves. So game reserves are this one are protected or managed by the county government. county government, the one that manages this. And then we have said in the game reserve, people are allowed to graze there. People are allowed to look for firewood in those areas. For example, Masai Mara. When you go to Masai Mara plains, you'll find that very many Masai people, they are looking after the animals in the savannah. While the giraffe are grazing, the zebra are grazing, Masai people are looking after the animals in those reserves. So that's a good example. So example of game reserves in Kenya, we have said we have what we call Masai Mara game reserve. And we have said this is one of the largest reserve in Kenya and even Africa. And if you go here, we have said we have major migration of what we call zebra. Then we have what we call wild beast. There are millions of them. So they migrate from Masai Mara, crossing River Mara here. River Mara, this is River Mara. Then they head where? Tanzania, at Serengeti National Park. So you'll find a million of them. And when you walk along the way, you'll also find carcasses. Most of them also, they die on the way while moving because of injuries, because we are talking about 2.5 million of them. Some also will be eaten in the river here by crocodiles because that's the prey for them, and so on. So that is what you're talking about, Masai Mara. Then we have another one called Shimba Hills. Shimba Hills is found when you are heading to the coastal areas, Kwale County, Shimba Hills. Then we have Samburu. Samburu also have a reserve, Samburu National Reserve. And then we have another one called Marsabit. Rahole, I think is found in Garissa County. You'll find it Garissa. Then we have also Boni. If you have heard about the Boni Forest, that is also a reserve. We have reserve where giraffe are there. And then some animals. And then we have Marsabit. Marsabit we have reserve and national park also. And then we have also we have another one called Arabuko, Sokoke. It's a forest, but we have also very many animals in those areas. And then we have Arawale, and so on. So these are examples of national reserves in Kenya, like that. So we are going to look at we are going to look at now wildlife. The main importance of wildlife, we have said, it earns the government, earns foreign exchange. When the tourists come, they earn the government foreign exchange to see those animals. So that's the main importance. Then also here look at the main problem facing wildlife. We have said is poaching. Poaching is the illegal killing of wild animals, because some people kill the elephant and rhino to take away their tusks and ivory. So those are the horns of elephant and rhino. Some people kill them, but if you are found, then you will be taken to court of law and you will be charged. So wildlife conservation measures. So we want to look at how can we conserve wildlife. So we have wildlife conservation measures. Wildlife conservation measures. To conserve means to protect. We have said that the wildlife are very important to the economy of any country in the world. So we want to look at how can we conserve wildlife in Kenya, in Eastern Africa, in Africa, and any part of the world. So the government has put up very many measures to. So we have number one, we have what we call establishment of what we call and poaching unit. And the poaching unit, these are police. We call them wardens, or we call them rangers. So these are the police who take care of the animals in the park. If you are found killing wildlife, then you may be arrested and taken to the court where you will be charged according to the law. Because we have said the best way of conserving wildlife and then is also educating the people. That is why this one, education about tourism and wildlife, is in the book we learn. That's the only best way we can do. So, and the poaching unit are a police which take care of the wildlife. So if you are found, then at the end of the day you will be charged. And then we have the government has also introduced departments to protect wildlife, departments like KWS. So the government have come up with the departments like KWS which help to manage and also to ensure that wildlife is well protected. So that's what you're talking about and so on. And then we have 3, we have establishment of sanctuaries. A sanctuary is where we put the endangered species, one type of animal. For example, endangered species, we have said they are the ones that are killed most of the time. Like endangered species are elephant, because they are killed and then their horns are taken away. Then we have also the rhino. These are the endangered species which can be killed easily, rhinos. So when you talk about sanctuary, then we are looking at the government has established what you call a sanctuary. Sanctuary is a place where you put these animals that are endangered. So that is number 1. Then number 4, we have orphanages. Orphanage is where we keep young animals, young or orphan animals, orphans and injured. So the government is taking care of these animals. So maybe in the forest we have a young wild beast or a gazelle or antelope have been born. Then maybe the mother was taken away by a leopard. So you'll find this young one is very prone to maybe predators and problem like diseases. So the government will follow up and then pick up this young one and take them to the orphanage where they can feed them, then they grow. Also injured animals, maybe an antelope was attacked by a lion, by good luck it escaped, but it is injured. So the government can go and take this animal and give it medicine and treat it so that it can come back well to normal condition. So these are what we call the orphanages. We put the injured animals and the orphans. Then number 5, we have what we call electric fences. Electric fences across the park. When you go to some national parks, you'll find that we have electric fence across the park. Animals like lion, animals like leopard, animals like hyena or elephant, sometimes they normally cross the border and go to disturb people in the society, maybe farms, and maybe killing people. So the government has established electric fence across the park so that when the animal close to the park, to the fence, then it is electrocuted and goes back to the area, restricted areas, and so on. So that's what you're talking about. Then also we are saying that we have also 6 what you call translocation. Translocation is the transfer of animals, the highly populated park, from highly populated parks to the where we have few animals. So to some extent, when the government finds that the animals in this park are very many, they can translocate or they can transfer some animals from one park to another. That's what they call translocation. So that is also another way of protecting wildlife. And then number 7, which is the best, we have what we call education, educating the people on the importance of the wildlife. We also call it creating public awareness. That's why I'm talking about. So public awareness means educating people on the importance of wildlife. In primary school, you have learned about the importance of wildlife. When you go to high school also, you may be told. When you go to the television, when told to the magazine, to radio. So at the end of the day, when you come back when you are found killing wild animals, then that will be your own problem. Because you have said the best way of conserving wildlife is to educate people. You are told the importance of wildlife, then that's the best way. It's also called public awareness. So that it is so. I think I read there. We shall continue. Thank you for watching.